My sister squatted in my house for weeks and turned violent when I told her to leave, but So hey Reddit, I never imagined that my own sister would be the reason I'd have to consider changing my locks. But here we are, Jessie and I have always been very different. She's the free spirit, the one who floats through life expecting things to magically fall into place. I, on the other hand, am the responsible one, the planner, the problem solver, the one who always lands on her feet. Because of that, she's always treated me as her built-in safety net, knowing that no matter what mess she got herself into, I'd be there to catch her. Growing up, Jessie had a habit of borrowing things indefinitely: my clothes, my money, my time, without much concern for when or if she'd ever return them. Promises to pay me back would turn into excuses, and somehow, I'd always end up being the bad guy if I pressed her about it. Over the years, I learned to set boundaries, but Anna, she learned how to push them just far enough without completely breaking them. Then, a few months ago, she hit another rough patch. She lost her job, had a falling out with her roommate, and was left bouncing between friends' couches. She called me, her voice dripping with desperation, asking if she could crash at my place just for a few days while she figured things out. I hesitated. I knew how these situations usually played out. But she was my sister, and no matter how much history we had, I couldn't ignore the thought of her struggling. So, against my better judgment, I said yes. I thought it would be temporary. I thought she'd stay for a few nights, maybe a week at most. Oh, how naive I was. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into over a month. Every time I brought up her plans, she dodged the conversation or gave me some excuse. I just need a little more time. I'm waiting to hear back from this job. I'm too stressed to make decisions right now. Meanwhile, she was treating my home like a hotel, sleeping in, making messes, eating my food without replacing anything. And worst of all, she wasn't even looking for a job. I'd come home from work to find her binge watching Netflix, door dashing food, and leaving dishes piled up in the sink. I finally put my foot down. I told her she had 1 week to find another place because I wasn't running a free bed and breakfast. That's when things got ugly. She exploded, started screaming at me about how I was being heartless, how family helps family, how I was supposed to support her through this tough time. When I didn't back down, she got physical, shoved me, threw a glass across the room, and even threatened to call the cops on me for kicking her out unfairly. At that point, I was done. I told her she had 24 hours to get out, or I'd be the one calling the cops. The next day, she finally left, but not before trashing the guest room, stealing some of my stuff, and sending me a long text about how I was a terrible sister who would regret this. That was a few weeks ago. Since then, she's been telling our family that I threw her out onto the street and that she's practically homeless because of me. Some relatives think I was too harsh, but I don't care anymore. I refuse to be used even by family. Update: it turns out that Jessie has been staying with our mom ever since she left my place. And surprise, she's telling everyone that I abandoned her in her time of need. Our mom has been blowing up my phone with messages about how I need to apologize to Anna and how she's family, and we don't turn our backs on family. I finally snapped and told my mom exactly what happened, including the fact that Jessie got violent with me. You know what my mom said? Well, you must have pushed her to that point. You're always so cold and unbothered. Maybe she just felt desperate. I blocked her. I found out from a cousin that Jessie is doing the exact same thing to my mom now, sitting around, not looking for work, making excuses, and expecting to be taken care of. But here's the kicker. Mom is now trying to guilt trip me into taking her back. Yeah, not happening. Update to so. A few days ago, I got a text from my mom. She kicked Jessie out. Apparently, after about a month of her mooching, my mom got fed up with Anna's laziness and attitude. Mom had been paying for her food, gas, and random expenses, and Jessie just kept promising she'd get it together soon. When Mom asked her to start contributing to the household, Jessie lost it. She pulled the same tantrum she did with me, yelling, throwing things, playing the victim. But this time, it didn't work. Mom told her to pack her bags and leave. Jessie screamed about how she had nowhere to go, but Mom didn't back down. She actually followed through and kicked her out. Guess who got a pathetic text from Jessie right after? Hey ... So things didn't work out with Mom. Can I come stay with you again? Just for a little bit. I didn't even reply. Just blocked her number. I feel a little bad, but honestly, not my problem anymore. She's an adult. She can figure it out. Final update, since blocking Jessie, I've heard from mutual friends that she's now bouncing between friends' couches, still refusing to get a job. I have no idea what her long-term plan is, but I do know one thing. She will never be living under my roof again. As for my mom, she hasn't apologized, but she's definitely gone quiet. I think she finally realized what I was dealing with. Lesson learned. Just because someone is family doesn't mean they have the right to walk all over you. If someone shows you that they're willing to take advantage of you, believe them the first time.